in order to overcome this garbage value only, we have to initialize the values. For example, here, take a look at the second example. Int a of 3 is equal to, within the floor bracket, we are initializing those three values. Say, for example, here 1, 2, 3. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Now, three memory spaces will get allocated. Look at the box. Three memory spaces will get allocated, and in these box, 1, 2, 3 values got filled. Okay. Similarly, look at the last example here, the second category. Int a of 3 is equal to 1, 1, 1. Since we have initialized all the three values as 1 in all the three boxes, we have got filled with the number 1. Okay, these are all the different ways by which we can able to initialize the array variable. And suppose, sir, I do not want to fill any values in the array. I want to initialize it with a 0. Then you have to mention a of 3 is equal to simply floor bracket. That's it. We do not want to fill any data inside it. So if you do so, automatically 0 gets filled in this place. Or explicitly, if you are specifying 0, then also 0 will get filled in this place. But if you specify a single value, that single value will get filled in the first value alone. Rest of the digits will get filled with the 0. Okay, I'm talking about this place. Okay, now int a of 3. These are all the various forms by which we can able to declare and make use of the array. Okay, a of 3 is equal to 0 dot 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 1 equal to 3, which means both the 0th location as well as the first index location, we are allocating the number 3. We are allocating the number 3. So because of this, automatically 3, 3 in 0th index and first index, 3, 3 will get stored. But here, look at here, a of 3 is initialized here. A of 3 is intimated to the compiler. So it automatically reserves 3 memory spaces. But here we have initialized only two values. In two index places only we have initialized. In the 0th place and in the 1th place, we have initialized the 3 values. So because of that, it has assigned 3 in the first two box, and last box is left as a 0. Okay, and next is a of nothing. We are not specifying any value in this place. So if that is the situation, depending upon the value that we are initializing here, the array will get filled with the values. Okay, a of nothing, we are not specifying the exact number of dimension or exact number of spaces that we are going to use. But in the initialized location 0 and dot 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 1, we have mentioned as 3, which means 0th index and first index we are filling it with the 3. So it reserves only two spaces, 0th index and 1 index, it reserves only two spaces. Okay, and the last option is also a way of declaring an array, but this concept you will able to understand once after we introduce you the concept of a pointer. Okay, but simply understand that whenever we are declaring a pointer, we have to use star in prefix to that variable. Okay, pointer is a variable that can store address of another variable. Okay, now in this case also, a of 3 or a of square bracket means automatically the address is declared or the address gets initialized in that location basically. Okay, internally computer will recognize that as an address only. So explicitly we are also directly declaring a address here like this. Okay, a variable that can store a address here like this, and this star can be either associated with the variable or to the data type or separately like this. Okay, so these are all the different ways by which we can able to declare the array variables. Do not want to worry here. These are all the various possibilities, but conventionally we will make use of only these first two methods. First two methods we will be using in our day-to-day program. Understanding something? Getting something? Yes or no, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Say for example, some of the properties. Okay. These are all no already I have told already. Say if we are storing, if you are storing only integer data types, each and every data will occupy 2 bytes of memory. And in some 64 advanced architecture, advanced processor, integer will occupy 4 bytes. Okay. So since we know the size of one data stored in one box, we can able to navigate to the next index location or next box by simply adding 2 bytes to the existing address space. So if the starting address of the array is 100 means after 2 memory space, the subsequent next data will reside. Okay, after 2 bytes, the next data will get stored. So likewise, we can able to navigate to the next locations. And third point says that are stored in a contiguous memory location, first element stored in the first memory, smallest memory location. So basically this I have told already that every elements in the array will get stored in the adjacent consecutive memory locations. Okay. Elements of the array can be randomly accessed since we can calculate the address of each element. This also I have told already. Since we know the type of data that is stored in the array and the starting address, we can able to calculate any index location by just computing the size of the data types. Okay, by adding the size of the data types to the starting address, we can able to navigate to the specific index location and we can able to access them. These are all the properties. And here we have got a two category of array. One is called one dimensional array and next is called a two dimensional array. Okay. I hope two dimensional array I haven't specified here because this I have confined the PPTs with respect to the first, second unit. In the third unit only, we will be starting with the two dimensional array. But anyhow, we will see this one dimensional array, the way of declaring these syntax and all. Okay, the first line says that first we have to write data type, say for example integer or otherwise float or otherwise char or otherwise double. Likewise, we have to specify the data type, then space variable name. Then after that, we have to specify the size. Okay, in this size, within this size only, we have to mention what is the number of memory space that we are going to use. Okay, here in this place, it is size. We have to mention either it is a size or dimension. Example, int marks of 6. So altogether, a single variable marks can be used to store 6 different values. Without using array, imagine a situation that if you want to store 6 marks, then you should have declared marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, marks 4, marks 5, marks 6. Likewise, 6 variables you need to declare. But here, instead of using 6 different variables, here we are declaring one single variable marks, but within which we are reserving 6 memory spaces. And inside those memory spaces, we are storing all those 6 marks. Okay. And either it is a one dimensional or two dimensional array, there are two ways of declaring, initializing the array. One is static initialization and next is dynamic initialization. Okay, we'll understand what are they. Static means at the time of declaration itself, we will directly assign the values. That is what static initialization. Take a look at the example here. Marks of 6, I have told just in the previous slide. And either we can specify that 6 in this place or otherwise we can directly write marks of empty square bracket is equal to all the numbers we can enclose. All the numbers means 6 numbers because we have declared marks to contain only 6 memory spaces. If you try to assign more values than 6, if you try to assign 8 values in the array variable which is permitted to store only 6 values mean, then definitely compiler will throw error. Okay. Or either we can do like the way that is stored shown here in the first type, or otherwise directly in one single step we can able to store the or initialize the entire array. Okay, like this we can do. Dynamic initialization. Dynamic initialization means at the time of executing the program we have to give the inputs and that will get stored in the array. Okay, if this is situation, and definitely we have to make use of a loop structure. Okay, the loop structure often used for getting the inputs for the array is for loop. Say for example, it starts from 0 I less than 6, which means what is a round number lesser than 6? Answer my question, students. What is the round number lesser than 6? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So from 0 to 5, this for loop will be iterating. Okay, 0 to 5 altogether 6 numbers are there. So 6 times this scanf statement will be expecting the user to enter the marks, and for the first time I value is 0, so ampersand marks of 0. So the value that the user types in the keyboard will get assigned to marks of 0. Okay, next time when I value increments to 1, I value will become 1. So ampersand marks of 1. So the user types the next value, and that will get stored in the marks of 1. So likewise, it will be running up to 5 times, from 0 to 5 times. So altogether it accepts and stores 6 values in the array variable. Okay. So if this is the main mechanism to read the inputs from the user, the mechanism to display the output to the user also will be of same method. That is, once again we have to use a for loop. Okay, instead of a scanf, now this time we have to use a printf, and in the printf we should not use ampersand. That is known factor by everyone, so we should not use ampersand here. Simply marks of I means first time when I value is 0, it takes the value that is stored in the marks of 0. Next time it will be marks of 1, marks of 2, marks of 3, marks of 4, marks of 5, like this. Like this it will take the value from there, and then it will display it in the or place it in the position of percentage d. Okay, understood this? Static initialization means very simple, direct way of assigning the direct values manually. Whereas dynamic initialization means at the time of executing the program, we will give the inputs. Okay, let's learn the advantages of array. Basically, by using such kind of array concept, we need not declare so many different number of variables. Okay, we can declare a single variable, and inside that we can store a bunch of data values. Okay, provided we should have declared that many memory spaces. And since the data get stored in the adjacent memory locations, the starting address, if it is known, then by adding the size of the data to the starting address, we can able to get the next addresses. So it will be helpful for us to traverse to the next locations and retrieve the values that are stored there. And if the data are stored in the array, it becomes easy for us to sort the elements either in ascending or descending order. Okay, and since it is able to help us to traverse to different locations, if we require, suppose array of fifth index location, a value from fifth index location means we can able to get it from that location. Or some suddenly I have to jump to zeroth location means array of 0. Likewise, I will specify so that I can run to array of zeroth location, and then I'll able to get that zeroth location value. So it helps to do a random access also. So these are all the advantages of an array. Disadvantages are also there. Disadvantages: before using array, we should have declared what is the size of the array. Okay, and whatever the size is declared initially, whatever the size you are declaring initially, we have to stick to that size, or we have to obey that size, so that we should not try to fill beyond the values or beyond the spaces with some values. Okay, suppose for example array is declared to contain a 6 integers. I should not try to store 50 integers into that array of size 6. If I do so, then compiler will treat it to be wrong, and then it will throw an error to us. Okay, so what we can do, the solution for this type of problem is, yes ma'am.
ஹலோ வந்துட்டு இருக்கீங்களா? ட்ரிபிள் சி கிளாஸ் அட்டண்டன்ஸ் எப்படி?
Sir, you're muted.
Just a minute, students. Yes, students. Okay. So what I was telling is the array, once if it is declared to a certain size, we have to stick to that size. If you try to exceed storing beyond values, then it will throw an error. So the solution for such kind of a problem is we can make the array to dynamically grow or shrink. Okay, and this will be understood by you when you study a concept of a linked list in the data structure subject in the third semester. Okay, and some of the operation that can be done with the arrays are we can able to traverse. Traverse means we can able to move front and back. Okay, so that we can able to retrieve the elements stored in the array one by one. Okay, that is one thing. And next is we can able to insert a array in the array indexes. Okay, we can able to insert a array in the array indexes. And similarly we can able to delete the element that are already stored in the array. And even up beyond this we can able to suppose consider if we have stored a marks 99.9 in one location of a float array. Okay, so far I was talking you about a integer array, round number array, but maybe sometimes we can declare a float array also. Suppose consider that 99.9 is the maximum top scorer in the class. So if you want to find who is the top scorer, then I can able to search also. Suppose consider when you are entering the data in the array and by mistake you have entered some wrong data, and if you wish to correct that data, we can able to traverse to that particular location and we can able to make a modification to the already existing data. So we can do a update operation. So there are 5 operations we can able to do with the array: traversing, insertion, deletion, searching, and then updating. Okay, so these are all the various operations that we can able to see. And with this your second unit gets over, I think so. Yes, in the third unit once again we will start with the same array concept, but where we will study about a two-dimensional array. Okay, now we will make use of this available time for learning program execution. Okay, simple program we will try to see, and we will understand the dynamic initialization as well as a static initialization. We will see an example program. So I have taken the taken a new program window. And then void main. Let's declare integer array only. Int array marks. I'm declaring that there are 6 subjects we have for each individual student, and each individual student marks I'm going to store it in this 6 marks, 6 subject marks I'm going to store in this variable. So I've declared like this. And then for iteration purpose, I may use I variable. So I'm predicting that I may use I variable. So I'm declaring them. In case if you want some more variables, later also we can declare. Now, simply I will use a clear screen so that I can wipe out the screen often. Then I will ask the user to enter the 6 subjects marks. So by asking them in the printf statement, I have to print it. That is, enter 6 subjects marks. Okay, then I have to end it with the /n so that it will go and print in the next line of output in the new line. Then I have to keep on asking, or what I have to say is, I have to keep waiting for all the 6 numbers to get inserted, or otherwise, say for example, I have to ask the user to enter all the 6 subjects marks. So what I can do is I can very well use a loop structure I equal to 0, I less than 6, less than 6, I plus plus. So after this, I have to enclose this in the printf statement. Okay. Now look at here, enter these 6 subjects marks. Now not only 6 subjects I will print, I will enter specifically the first subject, second subject, like that. Okay. Enter %d subjects marks mark. I'll use it in a singular. Next, I will ask I plus 1. I will print in this place I value. Let it be I value itself. So first time it will print enter 0 subject mark. Next time it will print 1 subject mark, 2 subject mark, 3 subject mark, 4 subject mark, 5 subject mark. So starting from 0 to 5 number of times this printf will get executed. Okay. Now scanf. Okay. So now in the %d, I have to use marks. Marks, no? Yes, marks is the variable that I have used, and I have to use I. Okay. Now this will collect me 6 marks and store it in the array variable marks. Okay, fine. Then once after storing all the marks, say for example, suddenly we got one more lockdown, and grace mark is given to every students. For example, 10 mark is given as a grace marks for every students. So what I have to do, I have to add all the students marks which are already stored in the database with the 10 marks. So what I have to do, if I want to once again add all the marks with the 10, then once again I have to use a iteration variable for loop I have to use. Okay, I equal to 0, I less than 6, I plus plus. Okay, now here I have to write marks of I is equal to marks of I plus plus 10. We are adding 10 marks to each and every students. Okay, this will add and then stored in the same index location. For example, marks of 0 will get assigned with the whatever the previously stored marks of 0. Say for example, at the time of running, I'll tell you. Okay, whatever in the 0th location you have stored already, that mark plus 10 will get added and stored once again in the 0th location once again. Okay, now what we can do is we have to print that marks. Whatever we are computing, that we have to print that marks. Okay. Marks in the 0th location is %d. Okay. I, comma, marks of I. Okay. Marks of I. So what will happen here? Marks in the 0th location is first mark will get first mark will come in this place. Okay. Let's stop this execution and then we will write get ch. Okay. Let's save this program. Compile the program. Undefined symbol print. Somewhere I have used this undefined symbol print. There it is. Here. I've saved the program, compiled once again, then execute it. Enter 0 subject mark. It will ask me the 0 subject mark.
The audio is not that clear, sir.
Just a minute. I'll check it. Just a minute. Can you hear me now? Simply, I'm entering the marks as 65. Okay, 0th subject mark, I'm entering as 65. Then it will ask me one subject mark, 34. Third subject mark, 45, 56, 67, and 78. Okay, now marks in the 0th location is added. In the 0th location, we have given a 65. That 65 gets added with a 10 more number, and then that is printed here as is 75. 34 we have added, plus 10 got added, and then 44 is printed here. 45 is entered already in the 2nd location, but along with the 45, 10 more got added, and then 55 is printed here. So likewise, all the numbers got added here. Okay. Now ask me doubts if you have got. Go through this program, students. I will read out the roll numbers. Please give your attendance also. Roll number 1. Answer attendance, students. Roll number 1. Roll number 2.
Sir.
Roll number 2 present, sir.
3. 4.
Roll number 4 present, sir.
5. 6. 7. 8.
Present, sir.
9.
Present, sir.
10.
Present, sir.
11. 12. 13.
Present, sir.
14.
14 present, sir.
15.
Present, sir.
16.
Present, sir.
17. 18. 19.
Present, sir.
20.
Present, sir.
21. 22.
Present, sir.
23.
Sir.
24. 25.
Sir, 24%.
26. 27,
Present, sir.
28, 29,
Present, sir.
13, 31, 32, 33,
Present, sir.
34,
33 present.
35,
Sir, 34
36.
present. 34%, sir.
Okay. Okay.
35
36.
present, sir.
Okay. 36, 37, 38,
38%, sir.
39,
Present, sir.
40,
40%, sir.
41, 42,
42%, sir.
43,
43%, sir.
44. Okay. 44, 45,
Present.
46. Okay. 47, 48,
Present, sir.
49,
Present, sir.
50, 51, 52. Okay. 53, 54,
Present, sir.
55,
Present, sir.
56,
Present, sir.
57. Okay.
57%.
Fine, students. Okay.
Sir?
Okay. Okay.
Sir, 46.
Good students. We'll meet
Sir.
in the next class.
Sir,
Sir,
53%.
30%, sir.
Sir, 5 present, sir.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Noted.
number
Noted.
11 present, sir.
Yes.
Sir, 46%.
Sir, can you repeat the absentees, sir?
All are present students. Many students are on the way to college in Chennai, so I cannot able to, because anyhow they are traveling, but we have to give certain relaxation also. Fine, students. We will meet in the next class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.